Take a deep breath. And release. And another. And release. And one more. And release. So many of us are coming into our powers. So many of us. So many of us. So many of us are stepping up our game. Yet we still find ourselves struggling at times with this energy. And we don't know what to do some days to integrate, to ground. We don't know whether just to stay in bed or to get up and go do something, to go hike, to go to work, or whatever it is. We find ourselves maybe eating too much sweets, comfort foods. And it's all okay. We're learning discipline of the mind. We're learning how to integrate all of our aspects into this one dimension. This beautiful gift we've been given, the gift of the now. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't think you're backsliding or stepping back. You're just basically going through it. You surrendered to this experience, and this is part of it, and the tests are part of it. For those right now that are experiencing the divine merger of the masculine and feminine within, and you're meeting expressions of it without, it can come in as a surprise. The archetypes will be very strong, and you'll feel like you know these people for eons, for other timelines and other dimensions, past lives maybe. And it can be overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming. So be gentle with yourselves. When you can, get back into your heart and take a breath. When we stay in our hearts, for the most part, life is so beautiful. But the tests are so important to tell us where we're at on our trauma journeys. A brief testimony for me is I'm coming into my power. People are seeing me as a leader, as a king. Those that know me know I'm just a servant king. I try to stay humble and just serve. And I'm blessed in ways that would astound people. This has been going on for many years as I come into my own, my coming of age. And this testimony from today is I became to realize that that my desire for a divine counterpart is so strong that it become an obsession. And instead of going with the flow and just enjoying someone I've recently met, I've been part of the overwhelm. And what I learned today is I've been gushing out my feelings and emotions and visions, knowing this is all about the balance within, so that one day it can happen without. But I got lost in it. Got lost in the wonderment of it all, and I found out in my test I still have a lot to heal. Turns out my confidence was an illusion, and it starts with my confidence. I had fooled myself into believing that I had healed my fears of abandonment. And I didn't realize that I was projecting because I was trying to push her away, so I wouldn't have to go through an experience of love and loss. Instead of going with the flow and experiencing just meeting someone and being with someone and learning someone and getting to know someone and possibly courting someone and letting it blossom into something amazing organically and naturally in divine timing. Even though that's my intent and I've expressed it, my truth is I was trying to push her away so I wouldn't have to go through perceived heartache. I got out of the now. And I'm sharing this because I know many are going through the same thing. Because as we step up into our power and do our healing work, we are meeting some magical beings, and the archetypes are so strong. We could go into so many of them, but I'd like to keep this now about the balance within that we all seek, and the balance without that is destined. Most of us have heard that when we become balanced within, we will attract a partner unlike anything this world knows, in the lustful relationships and the marriages to the state, that will bring something heavenly and divine in. So we go on our journeys, and we get to this point, and we do our work, and we do it at a high level in service to the whole collective. And then we sometimes find out in our tests we still have work to do. What I found for myself, that it's just a test, it's okay. And then if I practice what I preach, I will just simply surrender to the experience and not worry. So this whole thing is about staying in the now. When I'm in the now, this incredible starseed galactic crystal sister, this Valkyrie, this dragon rider, this high priestess, this amazing singer, artist, mother, friend. Everything about this sister intrigues me. But instead of staying in the now and giving her space to be her and me space to be me, and to just let this flow organically, I got out of the now and I went into the future. And some would say that if you're dwelling on the past or worried about tomorrow, you're so far from the now, it's not even funny. And that's what happened here. I literally took something from the past and projected it into the future. And to protect my sensitive heart, my fragile little heart, some would say my inner child, I came on way too strong, even though I said I wouldn't. And I did it misguided. I did it with good intent. My intent was pure because I was blind. I didn't know that I'd slip back into the backwards realm by stepping out of the now. And the inverse and mirror realms that we create are quite powerful. They cause something like an amnesia state. And it's really, really hard at that point to relate. But here we are. Spirit always shows us the truth. And so last night, this sister said she would pray on our relationship so it would be the best that it can be in the highest light. And I did the same when I fell asleep in prayer. And I always start off prayer with gratitude. It's really my only prayer now, is just gratitude. I'm living a magical life and I'm grateful for every moment of it. And this is no different. I'm grateful for the lessons. And so last night, even though I was confused, torn, and I didn't know why, I just asked for discernment, for clarity, knowing that if I pray for something and truly believe, that prayer will be answered in quick order. The Spirit did not disappoint this morning. And I found out through this sister that the things I was saying and writing put her in a state of unease. And when she expressed that perhaps I didn't trust her to go on this journey of discovery and to see if we have a deeper connection, to see what we are, but just to also be unconditional, become friends, and let it just happen organically the way it should happen. I was pushing her away, and I did not even know it until she spoke those words. And it turned out it's not that I don't trust her. It's that a part of me that still hasn't come to reconcile with some things, and some would say hasn't healed. Part of me just wanted to push her away on that off chance that she's not the one. And that is so ridiculous. I literally took a chance in my fear-based trauma drama of pushing her away from it forever and missing out on an opportunity to get to know someone amazing. But she expressed that she sees the perfect me. Can you feel that? So if you're listening to this and you're going through the struggle yourself, you're calling in your divine counterpart, but you're doing it from a place of wounding, it's a dangerous place to be. And you will be tested. And you know this. Sometimes we get into these trauma feedback loops and we keep going through the same experiences until we get it. Some of us don't ever get it, or we don't get it for a long time. And we believe that we are this story. I've loved and lost. Not just in a breakup, but with death. And it took a long time to get over that. And I shut down for a long, long time. And then one day I opened my heart again and took a chance to do this divine spiritual dance for a hopeful romance. And that's where I want to miss again. In visions, I've seen a lot. And I've seen her eyes, and I've seen her face and her energy, her signature, her algorithm. But perhaps it's an archetype that many embody when they step into their high priestess, when they become so balanced within that the divine architecture within lights up. So maybe I projected my hopes and dreams and visions onto her, or maybe not. But I almost lost the chance to explore that and to find out. And boy, that's where regrets would come in, and that's where you would dwell and dwell and dwell in the past. And so I surrender to this experience because I want to dance. I want to play. We have a lot in common. It'd be beautiful to see how we serve together because we have a very similar mission. And that's one of the things I got lost in. Instead of enjoying the moment, the present gift, the present called the now, I got lost in the how, the wonderment of it all, and doubt came in. So those listening to this know that's okay too when you come to recognize it. Luckily, we have a very pure hearty conversation most days through devices. We now want to take that to the next level and do it face to face and see what this beautiful connection is. And if it's just a friendship, then we can get rid of the just and enjoy it. And if it blossoms into something more, then that's icing on the cake. But it's about the journey, and I forgot that, and I preach that and teach that. And I totally forgot it because I got lost in the wonderment. And that wonderment always leads to doubt until the trauma is completely healed. And when is that? When you become triggerless and you stay in the now so long that that's where you live, because you know that's where the magic is. And it's how I lived most of my life. But in this situation, I forgot that. And I went into a temporary amnesia state. And it's okay, because if we look at everything as spirit just teaching us lessons, and we get out of judgment, self-pity, and we just see the Creator's just testing us, and we're testing ourselves to see where we're at on our healing journey, it's very grounding and humbling. And so I express gratitude for this experience. I am so grateful. The old me before I had my Phoenix experience, and I'm still rising. I'm a work in progress. I'm not saying I've completed it. I'm on that journey now. I'm deep in it. And it is so empowering and so beautiful and so magical. But for an instant, I forgot where I was and who I am. I was so overwhelmed by this feminine grace and beauty and majesty. I got in awe, and then I got into, but what if I'm not worthy? And I did not know that until she made me aware by simply being honest and speaking truth. So I'm grateful to this wonderful sister. I'm grateful for Spirit giving me this lesson. And I hope that this helps others on our journeys to peace and wholeness, and to what some would call the new earth. We have a lot of work to do. We're doing it. Everything is perfect. Everything is divine. When we can stay in the now, we can see clearly and truly the beauty of all of these lessons, and the opportunity to explore and dance with beings as exquisite as we desire to be. So I hope this helps you to find peace on your journey. I thank you for listening. May we all walk hand in hand on a blank canvas and create a new earth. Free, free, free to serve one another, to share everything our Mother Earth provides, and to always listen to Spirit. For when we do Spirit's will, everything is perfect. And when we do our own will, it doesn't feel so perfect, but most of the time it brings us back home, and we find out it was always perfect. The paradoxes in this timeline and this duality experience can be very profound. But when we come back into our hearts after going through these experiences and these trauma dramas, what we find is we've always been home. Welcome home, brothers and sisters. Welcome home. I've been searching for my voice for as long as I can remember, searching everywhere, deep into the darkness of December. And what I found was it was bound, as were my eyes and my ears too. And it's okay, 'cause the heart unlocked one fateful day, as I was shown how to follow the way. The way within is the way without, and the only way out is through. And when we surrender fully to the experience, that's really what let go and let God means. We've been told so many times to just let go and let God, but nobody's really told us how. We think that means just let it go and don't think about it. And that is not it. Sisters and brothers, the real healing comes from surrendering to the experience and going through the emotions, going through the roller coaster ride, if you will, because it teaches us how to truly feel. And when we can get there and feel it and learn from it, we can then release it. And there's something about releasing. We're in a perceived duality. It's a construct, a training sim, if you will. Some would say a holographic type reality. But outside of this, and what some of us call truality, in the now, when you release something from this dimension and you truly surrender to the experience, something happens. It leaves this dimension and it gets refined. And it gets refined every time you release it and surrender it. It gets refined time and time again. And each time it comes back more pure and more holy and more divine. Till finally you get the lesson and you see the abundance that you've been blocking yourself from. You feel the love of Great Spirit. Wopa Latanka, thank you, Great Spirit. Blessings, Abwoon, Abwoon, Abwoon. For so long we've been praying to Abba, our Father which art in heaven. We find out that the Aramaic of that prayer is Abwoon, Papa Womb, or Mother, Father of the Cosmos. There's many translations. What feels right to you? What feels true and true? Ask within, and everything that you seek without will be revealed. So we go on this journey together. To get back into our hearts, back into our wonderful expression of divinity, back to our very nature, so divine and so pure. And when we go into relations from a pure place, with no expectations and no judgment, and only grace, only then can we truly experience divinity in action. When all things are revealed, what we learn is that most of what we've been experiencing has been an illusion. The relationships of our past in the old world served mighty purposes. But the relationships we truly want and seek and are creating now foster a type of trust and experience that most of us have not even fathomed. Some have had visions like I have, and I'm getting tastes now, and I still get lost in it. And it's okay. Everything is perfect. We're just on our journey. And it's just begun. We're walking home hand in hand, learning how to be and learning how to see, learning how to find that great mother tree. Within and without, there is no doubt. Heaven is a state of being for those with eyes that are seeing, for those with ears that can hear the spirit-filled yarn. Maybe you'll dance and skip and say, oh darn, how did I not see for so many years? How was I blinded by crying so many tears? How did I submit to irrational fears? It's okay, my dears. Wisdom comes with these years. So don't fret and don't frown. And please don't be down. Stay up. Lift yourselves up. Some would say fake it till you make it, but I say no. Make it real. Own it. Surrender to it. Surrender to your divine expression. Surrender to everything that you are. And watch what is returned from that surrender. Watch what is returned from just letting go, truly letting go. It is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So for the next couple of minutes, imagine how it feels when you meet your divine counterpart within. Now imagine how it feels when you contact them without. And you go on this beautiful dance and journey of just loving one another with no conditions and no expectations. And you get to play in the garden. You get to walk hand in hand and create a beautiful reality. And if you've been called here to be on mission to help others heal, imagine and feel what would happen if you just surrender to this experience with no hesitation and no doubt, no worry of tomorrow, no expectations of what it looks like in the end, because there is no end, folks. It's just a journey. Don't miss out on something so magical and precious because you are afraid to proceed. Don't get stuck in the old way of, oh, but what if? What if? What if we are just friends and I'm stuck in the friend zone after so many months? Well, you went into it with expectations and it's not fair and it's not real. But what if? What if we're together and it's magical and what if I let her down or I let him down? That's worry too, and you know it's not true. So what if you get rid of the what ifs and you just say to yourself, thank you, Creator. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to get to know someone on a deeper level. Thank you, Great Spirit, for blessing me with amazing people showing up in my life since I've opened my heart. Thank you, Great Spirit, for helping me see with eyes that are true and clear. Thank you, Great Spirit, for letting me hear words of wisdom and that still small voice within as I trust my intuition. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome home.